Hey everyone, Tim Schofield here, and Vivo just sent over their new V27 and V27 Pro. We're going to take a look and compare both of these phones. Both are run on a MediaTek Dimensity chipset. One of them even has a color-changing glass on it, which reacts to sunlight or ultraviolet light, so we're gonna actually be able to test that out. I'm excited to see that in action. Aside from that, both have triple camera setups, 120 Hz AMOLED displays, and more. So we're gonna take a quick look at what comes in the box, and of course get some hands-on and compare these two phones from Vivo. Let's get started. Here they both are, V27 Pro and V27. Vivo was kind enough to even send over a blue light to actually test out that color changing feature, and we'll also go outside in the sun to check it out. We'll start with the V27 Pro, which has that color changing magic blue color, and there's a quick peek at it. We're gonna set that to the side for just a second, see what else we get in the box. Standard information booklet, also a clear case, so you can still take a peek at the color model that you do get. Finally, you get a SIM ejection tool, a charging cable, which is USB Type A to USB Type C, and a charging brick included. This phone can charge up to 66 watts with this fast charging brick via USB Type A. And very quickly, inside the V27, exact same stuff. You get a clear case, you get a 66 watt USB Type A charger, charging cable, SIM tool, so exact same stuff in the box. So let's check these colors out. First of all, this is flowing gold with the V27. You'll notice the color really shifts depending on how the light hits it. And a quick look at this magic blue of this V27 Pro. So not quite as color shifting. It does shift colors, but just not as much as the other color. But let's go ahead and try this blue light, the UV light on the phone. All right, I haven't tried this yet. Here's our first test. You'll notice there's the blue light on the lens, or the flash there. Moving it over. Whoa! Look at that. It darkens the phone a more deep blue. Look at that. That is awesome. That's very cool. I have not seen that before. And again, keep in mind this is UV light. So when you're outside in the sun, it's going to make this a little bit darker. That's so cool. I don't know if this color actually reacts to it. It does not seem like it does. So it is only specific colors that you can get. So I'm not sure how long this will last. I'm gonna go ahead and take a little break and we'll see how long it goes. So it's been just over 2 minutes. It's starting to get lighter, so it does not take long to stay that color if it's not out in the light. We'll test this out a little bit more later on in the video. We'll go outside and see if the sun has an effect on it and just keep an eye on it overall. But anyways, we're gonna boot these both up and take a closer look at the hardware. To be honest, these phones are very similar. I think they have the exact same design. So down at the bottom, SIM card slot, microphone, USB Type-C port, and our speaker. Moving along on the right side there, you've got your power button and your volume rockers. Also make note, pretty minimal camera bump overall. Up at the top says professional portrait and has a microphone along the left side. Absolutely nothing. Quick close-up of those two colors. Again, keep in mind they do shift and change depending on the lighting, of course, and our camera systems. You have the same camera system on both phones. First of all, a 50 megapixel main lens with optical image stabilization, an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle lens, and then a 2 megapixel macro lens, which, as we all know, those macro lenses are pretty pointless. So it seems to be back to the original color. I just want to see if I can just put a circle in the middle there. Look at that. So you can just specify, oh, maybe do a little drawing. A dot up here. Look at that. That's just really neat and unique how it just shifts just from light hitting it. That's so cool. Anyways, our phones have booted up. I'm gonna run through the startup process and talk about anything that's noteworthy. You have the option to set up fingerprint or face unlock. We are going to set up the fingerprint scanner, which is in display. I also want to point out that there is a pre-installed screen protector on both of these devices. All right, so getting started, a little bit of a haptic feedback, feels pretty solid overall. Now, I want to point out that this fingerprint sensor is a little bit low in comparison to others that I've used, so that might take a little bit to get used to. There we go. That was really easy to set up. And we are all set up and ready to go using FunTouch OS on top of Android. And these are the exact same display. And these are the exact same displays, which I can tell both have 120 Hz enabled out of the box. Hey look, the color's back. Anyways, let's go into settings very quickly and dive into some display and brightness. Again, this is a 1080p 120 hertz AMOLED display. I want to go to screen refresh rates on smart switch. You can force 60 hertz to save battery or force 120 hertz if you'd like to. And you might be saying to yourself, what are the real differences between these two phones? Honestly, there's not much. With the Pro model, you get the MediaTek Dimensity 8200, where you have the MediaTek Dimensity 7200 on the regular V27. And that's the biggest difference. Again, same exact screen size, same exact design, display, all the same, even battery, both have 4600 milliamp hour batteries. Rear camera's exact same, and front-facing camera both have a 50 megapixel front-facing lens. So with that being said, let's test out that fingerprint scanner very quickly. Just lock the phone with the screen off, setting it down, so you don't need to turn the screen on to actually unlock your phone if you know that position, setting it down. So it seems to be pretty accurate and quick. Quick break to change the color. There's a little smiley face. I'm having too much fun with this, as you can tell. Anyways, let's jump into the camera app. Just snap a couple quick pictures. See the shutter speed overall. Seems to be pretty snappy. Switching to that 0.6 ultra wide angle lens. And there's 2x button there, which is digital zoom. There is no telephoto lens on this camera. In terms of the different modes, you have night mode, a portrait mode, video, which will shoot 4K 60 frames per second, micro movie, and more. Here's all of the different options that you have. Jumping back into our settings, want to show off a few different things. First of all, there's a lot of added effects, including, dynamic effects with notifications coming in, weather backgrounds, even your fingerprint icon animation you can customize. They do have an ultra game mode for a sidebar. There's esports mode for minimized disturbances, optimized control. The display is optimized, 40 game vibration as well if there's a game that you download that is supporting that. Even a frame rate priority to give a higher priority for maybe a faster paced games, etc. Game picture in picture, which is kind of neat. You can use 3 fingers with a small window of apps to quickly swap back and forth. And overall, that's just about everything I want to talk about for now on the V27 and V27 Pro from Vivo. We should probably, color this in a little bit more, right? Boom. Look at that. We could do maybe half and half this time. So got to mix it up every now and then. But I also want to go outside. Wait, let's go outside real quick. I'll let this cool off back to the original color and see if we can get the sun, if there is sun outside, to actually change the color. And walking outside, unfortunately, it's a very cloudy day. So not enough UV light getting through those clouds to really change the color. I'll have to test it out once there is actual sun outside. So unfortunately, a little bit too cloudy here in Chicago. Either way, I'm a big fan of this color as is. Anyways, that is our Vivo V27 and V27 Pro. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about this color-changing tech that's in a phone. I like how unique it actually is. But anyways, be sure to subscribe. A lot more content coming soon. And as always, thanks for watching.